So what I want to share with you is in 1929, when the market collapsed, they sat back and they said, these are the reasons why this happened last time. Let's avoid it. So they actually created the Glass-Steagall Act of 1933. And what that act was put in place for was to stop commercial banks from partnering with investment banks and creating all types of unique, sophisticated financing strategies. So that act was put in place specifically to slow down the process. Well, interesting, the Gramm-Leach-Bailey Act of 1999, I'm not going to say a president because I'm not here for politics, but just a note, he repealed that act in 1999. And from 1999 to 2005, the biggest banks literally did more than 15 times their net worth grew from a few years since that act was repealed. Now, here's where one of the biggest components of their investment strategy went, okay? Just so that you see, as soon as they partnered up, they started creating really interesting terms like the credit default swap, mortgage-backed securities, collateralized mortgage obligations, all types of algorithms and calculations that they literally had to hire somebody because nobody even understood how that even went, right? They put all these things together, and the short of it was this. What they started doing was they started putting together an actual product to finance three types of borrowers, of consumers. The first one was prime loans, all right, which means these are the top of the food chain type of individuals, primarily baby boomers, if you will, in this market, who have savings, they have money coming in, they have assets, and they have great credit. All right, then you go into Alt-A loans, which is somebody who's got some good credit, maybe not as much in assets or liquidity, but they've got good credit, they have an actual payment history that shows that they're a better candidate to loan. And then you have the dirty word, the subprime market. These are individuals who may not necessarily have a lot of experience. Some of them obviously don't have the best financial training. They don't have a lot of assets. They don't have a lot of credit. They're just humans that can fog a mirror, right? And so what these particular commercial banks started doing when they partnered with the investment banks is that the investment banks said, hey, let's do this. Let's create a portfolio. We'll start with the majority of the portfolio prime A loans because these are safe. Once we get this here, one of the things that is critical for us is that we have to make sure that these mortgages are insured, because when we start selling this off on the secondary market and we do this, we need to make sure that it's a sexy product. So they get mortgage insurance. So they put this portfolio together. They said, well, we have mortgage insurance, but we need something else. We need to rate this. So they created a rating system through a third-party company. Or is it really a third party? I'm not sure yet, right? So what do you think they do with this rating system? Well, what they do is they use really interesting algorithms to put together an interesting analysis based on how many loans are here, how many loans are in the second bucket, and how many loans are in subprime. The higher the percentage that was in prime loans, the higher the grade of the debt paper. They would create this portfolio, and then they would sell it off to who? Overseas, right? They would have overseas buyers. It was a secondary market. Another thing that started happening is pension funds, credit unions, schools, and actual unions started taking the retirement money that they have already raised for investment purposes, and they're buying this completely turnkey investment portfolio because it's diversified. It's got an A rating, and it's got mortgage insurance. Interesting, huh?